Now on Triad Today, time to check in with our good buddy Kevin Baker, who's Executive Director of the Piedmont Triad International Airport. Always glad we can steal him away from the airport for just a few minutes because he's a busy guy, but thanks for stopping by.
Good to see you, Jim.
You know, I've been hearing about this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I keep hearing about this International Air Show, which took place in July. Very quickly, what was that? When was it held? What's the deal?
Yeah, there are a couple of large international air shows that happen, the biggest being Paris, and then the second one being Farnborough, which is London, basically, about 30 miles west of London, and they alternate years. And at these things, there's, I don't know, 175 to 225,000 people that come to these things. Monstrous shows, and all of the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, show up at these things and talk about the new products that they might be launching, or talking about big sales that they may have made.
Right.
Boeing sells airplanes to name the airline.
So this is an important deal.
It is. It's very much a look what we're doing kind of show, but it's also you have suppliers all the way down to the lug nuts that are on the wheels of those airplanes, all the way through the wings and engines, et cetera.
Well, let me embarrass you over something, because the scuttlebutt that I'm hearing is, yes, there are these shows that are international, there are shows across the country, and yet the folks in Europe and other places seem, when the topic of PTI comes up, they sort of act a little bit envious of PTI and of this area in North Carolina. Why is that?
Well, I think, when you look at the news that we've had in the last decade even, I mean, you talk about Honda, you talk about Cessna, you talk about, especially more recently, Boom, and then JetZero, and other wins that we've had. The airports and regions around the world are saying, what are they doing there? How are they winning all these things? There's a jealousy out there. It's kind of cool. It used to be that we had to go to these shows. We would go to them with the intent of letting people know what we had going on here,
right, to
try and lure them to come here. Now you go there and they know who you are right away. I mean, in the last two especially, this area has been the talk of the show, mainly because of JetZero's announcements. But also with Boom a few years back.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Well, now, I know this is a crystal ball thing, but going forward, because I think folks in the Triad want to know this, is there going to come a time where we're going to have an international air show at PTI?
Yeah, I don't see an air show happening. It's really difficult to put on an air show. I mean, there's a lot of airspace use and stuff like that this it really difficult around a commercial service airport, even one that's a mid-sized airport like this.
Oh, so in Farnborough and places like that, they're not doing commercial air?
No,
okay.
These are airports that are, it's secondary airports.
Okay.
And so I don't see that happen.
Let me throw a quote back at you before we wrap up here, and I want to make sure I get it right. You talked about how that the PTI campus and surrounding areas where our children and our children's children will work in the aerospace industry. What, if anything, are you doing now, and your partners around the region and colleges and whatever, to nurture kids so that the children and the children's children are working in this industry here?
Yeah, there are lots and lots of people and organizations that are working on workforce development and early education. You've got programs, for instance, Andrews in High Point has a program for kids in high school, and I think you're going to see these groups who are now focusing very squarely. The JetZero thing really has created another step that we need to take. And all of those organizations are working together to make sure that we've got a pipeline of people that lasts for the next 100 years, because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, and Guilford Tech, Forsyth Tech, a lot of the community college seem to be jumping in there and partnering with folks like you in the aerospace industry, right?
Yeah, there's no question, and I give a lot of credit to Tony Clark at GTCC for what he has done. He has managed to wrangle together all of the local community colleges, and they are working together for the first time that I've seen, all working very much together to help do this. And then you have the secondary college or the four-year colleges. I mean, like A&T and even NC State, but UNCG, et cetera, are all playing part of this
Jumping
as well.
in there to help with the workforce now and in the future. Up on screen, flyfrompti.com. Of course, you can check out schedules, flight schedules, but there's lots you can look at on that website, and we hope you will do that. Kevin Baker, thanks for everything, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Good to see you.
Be right back.